Okay, so here we are. We have our slab container project, and we're going to be doing the first step to adding color to it today. And as you recall, before these were bisque fired, we spent some quality time incising the lines to create a pattern. And I showed you this one last time. This was my grasshopper. And I'm going to show you how to get that black colorant into those incised lines so that they really pop after we also add other color to it. Now, the material or the substance that we're going to be using to add color, it is this brand. It's called Mako Stroke and Coat Underglaze. This is, in general, an underglaze, meaning it does not contain the chemical silica. Okay, silica is a chemical inside glazes that makes it turn to glass. It makes it shiny and safe to consume from. The underglaze is going to make colors very vibrant, and they also don't mix together as they melt. So when they're in the kiln and it's bisque firing, those chemical colorants aren't going to melt together. So underglazes are going to stay where you apply them. So after we're done adding color to our entire surface, we're then going to put a coat of clear glaze over it. So the clear glaze is going to melt in the kiln, turn to glass, and give your slab container a nice shiny surface. So this is what the color that everybody's going to be starting with, and it is called Tuxedo. Relatively, it's just black. And the next tool that you'll want to check out today is just a small container. This is just a lid from a yogurt cup. I also have yogurt cups in the closet. In addition, there are some small little pieces from pallets. You can check that out as well. You'll also need a portion of a sponge, and you're going to need a bucket. These buckets are different than the buckets that we use on the potter's wheel. And these are just stacked in the closet directly on the floor. And you'll want to put some water inside. Okay, you can tell I just filled this up about halfway. So, and also a glaze brush. These are in the closet as well, straight ahead. So when you're ready, you're going to take a little bit of the underglaze. You can shake the bottle. Make sure that the lid is on. Make sure that the cap is closed before you shake it. You can pop it open. This stuff is expensive, so please only take a small amount. Okay, that's not so much. Okay, and there's this area right here that I have not applied black colorant to. You can tell that you can see the legs of the grasshopper, the body of the grasshopper. So I'm going to take the bristles and I'm going to put it directly inside the underglaze, and I'm loading up my brush. When I apply the black colorant to my grasshopper, I'm using a dabbing motion. I'm going up and down, and I really want to make sure that I fill those incised lines. Okay, the whole point is getting that black colorant deep into those carved areas. As you can tell, I've done most of the container already. I still have a few areas here. And once you have the underglaze applied, then you're going to let it dry. Okay, it does not take that long for it to dry. You can tell that it changes colors. It becomes less shiny. And so then once it's all dry, I can rinse this off in my bucket of water. with the glaze brushes, once you rinse them out, you want to make sure that the bristles get back to that point. Otherwise, they get all icky and gross, and nobody wants to use that. So make sure that you get it to that nice tip again. Okay. All right, so my underglaze is dry. I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to dip it into the water. And once I have it in the water, I want to squeeze the water out. Then with this flat side, I am going to rub in a circular way. I'm rubbing that black underglaze off. Once your sponge has underglaze on it, switch sides, rotate it, because if it's dirty, it's not going to clean. So you always want to get rid of the underglaze that is on your sponge. And you can see that it's starting to come up off the raised areas, but stay inside those carved lines. This is not difficult, but it does take time. You can see how it's starting to reveal itself. And then you just continue this process all the way around. Okay, you can see I already have this one completely done. Now, if by chance you've done the process and the black is not staying inside the lines, you can go ahead and reapply the black underglaze, and then when you're wiping it the second time, maybe use a little bit less pressure or not be so harsh. You can also do your handle. If your handle has some incised lines, this one with the mitten, it does have some incised lines to create that texture and that pattern. So I applied the black colorant to that one. This handle, this is the handle to my grasshopper one, and this is just the blades of grass. I don't have details on it. I don't have any incised lines, so I'm going to leave this one alone. And then last thing, you're going to clean up your tools, and we'll be using the color underglazes after so.